به قسمت هشتم از سری دوم برنامه دنیای فرنچایزها خوش اومدید. اگر برنامه رو دنبال میکنین خاطرتون هست که دفعه گذشته قسمت اول صحبت‌های من رو با فرانچایزی‌های فست ساین در شهر ایروان با همدیگه دیدیم. دقت کردین که سارا و پویا چه تجربیاتی داشتن، چه تحصیلاتی داشتن و چگونه رسیده بودن به این که فرانچایز فست ساین رو بخرن. خب این خیلی جالبه که هر کسی که میخواد یه فرانچایزی رو بخره پارامترهای مختلفی رو در ذهنش در نظر میگیره. مثلا دیدین که برای پویا چقدر اهمیت داشت که یکی دیگه فرانچایز هایی که بررسی میکرده $100,000 باید براش فقط اقلامی رو میخریده و در مغازه میذاشته که امکان از بین رفتن اونها وجود داشته. خب همه افراد این پارامترها در ذهن شون اهمیت نداره. به خاطر همین هم هست که افراد گزینه‌های مختلفی رو برای سرمایه‌گذاری معمولاً انتخاب میکنن. بعد هم با فرایندی که فست ساین بررسی کرده بود، دنبال کرده بود تا اونها رو به عنوان فرانچایزی بپذیره آشنا شدیم. قبلا هم راجبش صحبت کرده بودیم که به خصوص فرانچایز هایی که خوب هستن، رتبه خوبی دارن، اینها سخت میپذیرن با هر کسی کار بکنن و خیلی وقتها فیلترهای زیادی میکنن تا اینکه واقعا یه نفر رو بپذیرن در سیستمشون و حاضر بشن بهش فرانچایز بفروشن. نکته دیگه که تو صحبت‌هاشون جالب بود این قضیه بود که قبل از اینکه اصلا مغازه‌شون رو باز کنن وبسایتشون رو که فست ساین بالا آورده بوده شروع کرده بودن به گرفتن مشتری که توضیح میدادن حتی از بعضی از شعبه‌های دیگه فست ساین استفاده می‌کردن برای اینکه این سفارش‌ها رو به مشتری‌ها برسونن که خب این خیلی نکته جالبی هستش، اینکه یه فرانچایزی که شما می‌خرین دارای این زیربناهای لازم باشه در مقایسه با اینکه یک بیزنسی رو بخریم که شناخته شده نیستش، اون به اصطلاح اسم برندش رو نمیشناسن، این زیر ساخت‌های لازم رو نداره و ماه‌ها طول میکشه تا اصلا بشناسونیمش به بقیه افراد که ما اونجا حضور پیدا کردیم که خب اینم باز نکته‌ای بود که بچه‌ها به جزئیاتش اشاره کردن و خب خیلی جالب بود. اما مسئله آخری که بهش به تفصیل پرداختن مسیری بود که برای اجاره کردن مغازه‌شون طی کردن. اینکه اگه قرارداد اجاره 90 صفحه‌ای شروع کردن و در پایان 120 صفحه قرارداد با صاحب ملک بستن. بعضی وقتا افراد این قضیه رو خیلی ساده میگیرن که خب میریم یه جایی رو برای مغازمون اجاره میکنیم، ولی واقعیت اینه که اجاره کردن یک ملک تجاری واقعا یکی از سخت‌ترین قدم‌هاییه که در راهی که میخوان افراد بیزنس رو راه بندازن پیش روشون هست، به خصوص اگر که افراد اون به اصطلاح کردیت لازم رو نداشته باشن یا وضعیت مالی خیلی خوبی نداشته باشن. خیلی وقتها حتی صاحبان ملک حاضر نمیشن باهاشون صحبت بکنن، چه برسه به این که بخوان اصلا وارد مذاکره باشون بشن. به خاطر همینم هستش که این مرحله یکی از مراحلیه که بسیار باید با دقت طی بشه، افراد مختلف باید درش به کمک گرفته بشن که حالا دیدین فست ساین کمک‌های به هر حال خوبی رو در این فرایند به بچه‌ها کرده بود. خب ازتون دعوت میکنم قسمت دوم این صحبت‌ها رو نگاه کنین که باز هم حاوی نکات بسیار جالب و آموزنده‌ای برای شما خواهد بود.
Yeah, let's go to the training. You didn't have any background in this business, so how did they help you to start?
A lot of fun. So we were fortunate enough to have Fast Signs once a year has a convention. They usually get a large space, like they did it when they did it here. They did it at the Disneyland Resort. They did it this year at Disneyland in Orlando, and I think last year they were in Dallas for their 50th anniversary. Mm-hmm. So Fast Signs does this convention. In this convention, they have a lot of seminars, a lot of classes. There's over 700 vendors. I think it's just in one category that they come in and they talk to us and they talk to the owner and they give us samples and goodies and t-shirts, and we started with that. We got our very first certification. She got it with one of our most important majors vendors. So we got our first certification at that, at the vendor show. But that's not the normal. The normal training they do is right as you're getting ready to open your store, they sent you to, they asked us to go to Dallas. I went, I was there for 2 weeks. In this training, they essentially talk about, the day-to-day, what to expect day-to-day. They go over your marketing budget and what to expect for that. They make recommendations such as, joining the Chamber of Commerce, getting to know your local community, that type of, the type of things that, with everything that's going on, you don't really think about yourself, So they try to make it so, you're not just worried about, oh my gosh, I got to open the store. Now I gotta go buy a computer. Now I gotta get the printers. So they try to make it so, okay, so now you have a set plan and you put that plan in motion. So we did it. We did that. I did that 2 weeks training in Dallas.
So you actually started getting to know different products that you will make, and also how these equipments work. And
yeah, so how that works is I went there and I took my graphic designer and production manager there. So
you actually hired that person?
I hired that person, and we went together. I put him up in a hotel, and I stayed in the same hotel. So they were having their own training, and they train in a different field. They train in the management of the production room. They train in how to do basic stuff on the computer with the programming and all that stuff. And they learn how Fast Signs, the recommendations of Fast Signs, and that aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Fast Signs also assigned us what's called a mentor program. So we had a store, we had another owner that was my mentor, and
which is nearby.
Which is nearby. Yeah, he's in Vista, which he was also very instrumental in training my guys as well. So my production manager and my front desk, my customer service representative, they both spent a week down there as well. Mm-hmm. So all of this, and then there's also ongoing training. So once you become an owner, it's not over yet. Next month we have a sales management training in Dallas. It's a 3-day training that we go to. When we hire our sales rep, it's a 3 months continuous training while they're on the job, and once that 3 months is over, then they go to Dallas for 3 days, and they they learn the trick of the trades. It's called the sales boot camp. So they have that training as well. Mm-hmm. So, and there's also Fast Signs University. There's also a slew of seminars and videos and vendor sponsored seminars that are available online to us. And we can also, on top of all that, which is what we did, we can also get certifications from our vendors. 3M is one of our big vendors, and we are having our guy taking classes with 3M, which we pay for, but then he becomes a 3M certified trainer, 3M certified
installer.
Mm-hmm. So that also brings in recognition, which in turn brings in business, and those are also available.
One more thing which was very good for us is the first week that we opened to business to customers, one of the guys from Fast Signs International, he came over here. He stayed for 1 week. He helped us out with everything. So for example, when a customer calls, I didn't go for the training, right? So that week he came for me, and I learned so many things: how to take order, how to make orders, how to talk to the customers, how to come up. We have about 24,000 different products. So it's not a day that you can learn, every day I learn new things. I still learn new things. So for that week, he helped us with the common ones that everybody calls. And then when people call for signs, they don't know what exactly they want. So you have to go through the process of learning what they want, because not the names are not that available to people. So he came over here and he helped us with everything. He set up the whole store of how to get orders, how to talk on the phone, how to put everything in folders, the normal things that you don't think about it. But if you don't think about it in the beginning, you're not going to be organized. And if you're not organized, later on you can't find out what customer ordered what, and how you can find out what order is in what process.
And if you forget about one order, then you will lose that customer forever.
And then people are connected these days, so you're gonna get bad reviews. It's difficult to, get rid of a bad review. We all know that it's not possible. So you always want to be on top of everything to make sure that everybody's satisfied and happy. Customer service is something that you have to learn how to be good at it. And that guy, when he came, Jason Myers, is very amazing. I love that Jason Myers. He's awesome and he knows everything. So he came over, he taught us everything, and after a week, I felt like I know the business.
I think that it's so valuable, because first that you open your doors, you have a lot of stress that what customer will ask me, can I answer?
Yeah.
So it's really valuable. You have. How long did it take to open the door of the store from the time that you decided you want this franchise till you open the door of your store?
1.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So everything starts with an idea. Then you want to search the idea. Then when you search the idea, you have to find those people that help you out throughout the process. So it started with an idea with me and Puya. It took 2-3 months to find that person. And then it took us 4 months to sign. And when you sign the contract with the franchise, that's the moment everything starts. For example, starts okay, what is the next step? When you're gonna find a place, and then you start with the bank, and then those people, brokers that help with the bank documentation. So we signed the contract, the website was open, the broker came to local, we searched for the place. The lease process took us 4 months. Going back and forth to make sure that we are getting a good deal, because those legal terms, you have to go through it, make sure what you want is exactly in the lease.
After you decided about this location, it took 4 months till you signed the final contract.
Yes, because you want to make sure that you are able to have the contract again for the next 5 years, and then the 5 years, because you're going to pay for construction improvement, then people going to know you by your address. So you don't want to move after 5 years. So those those things on the lease takes a lot of time. And then overall, lease took 4 months back and forth with the people, with the franchise, with us, with the lawyer, and to make sure that we could get a good deal. After that, it was when we have the lease, that was the time that we had to go over the business plan, because business plan is local. You have to make sure that you talk about the local areas, those customers as local. You have to know the area. So when you get the lease, those 7 miles around you, all of a sudden they matter to you a lot, because those are your actually door-to-door customers. Those are the people that gonna come to you the first day, the first week. And then the business plan. And then when you have the business plan, you have the exact numbers. That's a projection plan that you're gonna talk about the next 3 years in details. $100, $20, $25, all matter. The smallest thing that you think of gonna be on there. And then after you're done with that, you have to think about the purchase order. The very smallest thing that you're gonna buy, you're gonna have in store when customers come in. You can help them out, and you can make the sign, like a razor, a blade, Like how many you want. These are the things that the franchise knows because they have the average of like 600 locations. It's not something that you're going to come up with on your own. And then you don't want to go to Home Depot or like stores for every purchase, every order. So you don't want to drive to the store and come back. So they have the purchase order. That is about 100 page. So you go over, you make sure you have the budget and everything is fine. And all this information, they gather up after like 6 months to go to the bank. And the bank takes a while. They want everything double checked. They want to talk to you on daily basis. And then they want to make sure that you're in the right category because like there are different categories.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to know a lot about your business because then you have to sell it to the bank and say, I'm great at it. I have a lot of information. Trust me and pay me. And then after the loan is done, that comes the improvement to the place to make sure that everything...
Hire in the contract.
Yeah, hire in the contractor, everything fits. You have the plans, you have the machinery, you have everything working out. Those kind of things, that which takes like 2-3 months. Yeah, 1.5 years. So it's a process.
And getting the licenses, how many licenses you
There's
wanna
so
do?
many different licenses. So then you have to plan for those. Contractor license, sign license, electrician
Business
license, business license, like permits,
Cities.
city, California, the government, local government, the county, all those kind of information that you actually have to have because like what if those permits, it doesn't exist, they can close your door. For example, the resale certificate of California. The very first day you start, you have to have that information. You have to have that certificate license. Otherwise, you're not legal in California. So all this information is something that the franchise can help
They
you
give
out.
you guidelines and they ask you to go to this organization, get that.
Yeah, and then they're one phone call away. And then they have the IT department, they have the marketing department. Those people are actually there to help you out. They have legal department. All those people is out there to help you out. It's not an easy process, but then people can make it easy for you.
Interesting. And you said that actually you decided to have this business as a woman majority owner business. Why did you decide that?
So yes, this is a woman-owned business. That means that majority owner. That means that in some of the bids that are for local government or for the government or state, we can have a higher chance to get those bids and orders. So for example, in California, not so many women are business owners. So California wants to give out those opportunity to women to bid for their the improvements orders that they have. So then you can bid for it. If you're a woman, it's most likely you're the one that they're going to choose over other people. And then that's very easy to do. You just have to sign the papers and ask and see if that's going to work out for you. 50-50 or more than 50.
We also, because this is a majority woman-owned business, we happen to get a much better loan with much better terms.
Wow. That's
and
interesting.
That was also, a major factor in this, that we were able
So
to
even
get.
in getting the loan, it has effects.
It does. It does. We were able to get a loan from a non-profit organization instead of a bank. And
Just because it was a woman.
yeah, it's a community-based loan, and we're able to contribute to them, not just with making payments. We also make sure that we do our part for them to make sure that their name is known, that they're getting additional clients, and
So
people know about
SBA
them.
helped you in this process, or was it?
SBA is a backer. It's not a loan provider. So SBA guarantees the loan to the bank. That if we're unable to pay, SBA will pay the bank.
But you can choose the bank that you want to get the loan from.
We can. Fast Signs has approval through a few banks that they do work with, and they matched us with this company, CRF. And it was a good match because we were able to get, a much better deal. We were able to get much better interest, and just the details of it was just a lot better. So
And it was very fast.
that was also
Faster.
one of the things that we didn't know about, but our senior developer Mark Jameson, he knew about it, so he recommended it. We
That's
went
another
forward.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
All those people work in that bank, they're women. And they talk to women.
That's a good point. So let me wrap this up about the whole process of buying the franchise and paying the franchise fee. How do you compare buying a franchise, although you have to pay the franchise fee, with having your own business? Because there are a lot of people that they think that why do I have to $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to a franchise to buy a franchise? I will go and start my own business. What is in a sign? I just buy an equipment and it's a sign business. So how do you think about the whole?
In this industry, you can most certainly do it on your own. It wouldn't be that difficult. The only main difference between somebody who's doing it through a franchise versus somebody who's doing it on their own is the amount of help that you get. So if you are somebody who's done this in the past, who has a lot of experience in this, and you just pick one aspect of this business and say, I want to break out into that and only do that, then that's fine. With this franchise, the probability of growth is much higher because it is constantly growing, and there is over 24,000 products that you can potentially offer to your client. There's also the amount of support that's provided initially and throughout this entire process is tremendous. We are right now we're in the process of hiring an outside sales rep. We plan to hire, budget-wise, we plan to hire 3 this year. We are getting help from the franchise, so we have a recruiting firm that we hire to find our potential employees. We have this recruiting firm works directly with FastSign's outside sales team to vet these people, to interview them. Throughout this process, we are involved with our main, franchise. So every single aspect of this business, they take a little bit of the unknown off of that. So in the lease, the unknown was the terms, and it was it was 120 pages, and ours was relatively small. Irvine Company, if you sign a lease with them, it's double that. So there was an unknown part in that, and they took that out. In training, for me, for my production manager, and for my customer service person, there was an unknown as to how are they going to deal with their clients on day-to-day basis. They took that unknown out, and they trained us, and they did that. In marketing, it's an unknown. When you open your own business, well, how are you going to get a client? How are you going to find a customer? That has been the easiest part of owning this business, is I don't have to go out and find customers. It's kind of like Starbucks. Everybody sees that green sign and green envelope, and they come in, and they know that they're going to get a cup of coffee. Everybody sees this,
Red, blue.
red and blue, and they're gonna know that there is a certain criteria, there's a certain standard that we have to meet. They're gonna know that there's over 600 locations, so our franchisee when they negotiate with our vendors, with people who we buy our equipment from, they're going to negotiate the lowest price. We bought our printer for $3,000 less than the MSRP. That's because when they negotiated with these guys, they negotiated for 600 locations. So they were able to give us a sizable discount on everything. So every aspect of this business is managed, not just by me, but by a group of 200 plus people in Carrollton, Texas, and they know what they're talking about. Jason Meyer's family owned the Fast Signs, and he decided to move to Dallas and be a part of this. So this guy had years and years of experience in doing this. Their trainers all come from sign background. So when these guys are training when they're training the production manager and graphic designer, they know that trick that takes 3 minutes off of your production of one piece of media. So in those 3 minutes that you take off from one job, you add 3 minutes to another job, so you can do more jobs in one day, and you can get it to your customers quicker, so the client will be happy and your productivity will be higher. We have all of this because we knew that we had to go with a franchise, because we had no idea where to start. No idea.
Sometimes when I talk with people, I say that you pay something and you go to university to get a degree. Why? Because you want to come up and start working, and sometimes I think that franchise is like a university. You go, but the result is that you learn how to have a kind of business, so it's kind of similar to investing,
this franchise fee, it feels like you have somebody that has your back. So basically, whatever needs a repair, I don't know who handles this guy. Just call the franchise and it's something is broken, send the guy. That's about it. If something happens with the landlord, I don't talk to the landlord. I just talk to the franchise and said, you know what? Just call the landlord, says do something for me. Or anything happens, there's a phone call. You can just make that phone call and then the problem goes away.
And it seems that you use that phone call a lot.
I do. Have you heard that expression that if you're on the second page of Google, you go out of business? So when you started for the franchise, the website you're on the first page. You're on the first page and the first result. And that matters in businesses because people are tech savvy. People use their cell phones to find you. And if you're not a known website, you're not a known business.
It takes forever to get there.
Yeah, they say that you can hide a dead body in the second page of Google and nobody's going to find it. So when you're part of a franchise, you're a known name. People stop by in this location, say, I used to live in Florida. There was a Fast Signs. I'm so happy you guys are here. I can just order it from you guys. And one of the other good parts about us is that we talk to each other, so we can do business in other states.
Other countries.
Out of country. So we have all these customers that if they move, they still can get things from us and then just pick it up in the other locations. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of franchise like a family, big family, that you have all those kind of people around you. And then if you don't have a machinery to do something, you can call the other franchise and say, hey, can you do this for me? Or then we can sometimes we can even share people because we are part of a family. So, and then if something happens to one of the owners and they can't do something, things happens.
Yeah.
And then the franchise takes over and help you out. They send people to help you out. It's kind of like having your mama taking care of you.
خب قسمت دوم صحبت‌های من رو با فرانچایزی‌های فست‌لاین در شهر ایوان مشاهده کردین. اجازه بدین این قسمت رو با جمله قشنگی از آقای جوئل آستین به پایان ببرم که ایشون گفته همه ما در زندگی دچار لحظات سختی میشیم. این اصلا معنای زندگیه. اما چیزی که مهمه اینه که بدونیم این لحظات سخت برای آزار دادن ما به وجود نیومدن. به وجود اومدن که ما درسی رو در زندگی یاد بگیریم که بعداً قراره ازش استفاده بکنیم. چیزی که مهمه اینه که بتونیم مثبت به این قضیه نگاه بکنیم تا ازشون درس لازم رو بگیریم. امیدوارم که اگر دچار یکی این لحظات سخت هستین بتونه انرژی مثبت تون رو حفظ بکنید تا به زودی از این لحظه سخت هم در زندگیتون گذار کنید. روزها و شبهای بسیار خوبی رو براتون آرزو می‌کنم.